Hey everybody, it's Kevin Dewalt of Prolego. 99% of what you read about large language models, even in the technical press, concerns foundational breakthroughs or comparisons between offerings from the largest companies like Google's Bard or OpenAI's GPT-4. Very little information and time is spent discussing the rest of the ecosystem. And so I'm going to talk briefly today about one of the emerging tools that's going to power large language models in the enterprise, and that is LLamaIndex. LLamaIndex is the way I think of LLamaIndex right now, it is a framework that's going to drive what I think is going to be the initial killer app of LLMs in the enterprise, and it is unified natural language processing. So I've covered LLamaIndex and unified natural language processing previously in other videos, but let me just summarize both for you two today. So LLamaIndex, you can think of it as an interface between your data and a large language model. And so if you want to build applications with LLamaIndex, with large language models, LLamaIndex allows you to really simplify your data stack. And so you don't have to do all this pre-processing and organization to get your information ready for LLMs. And we can do that because LLMs can handle messy data. If you have, HTML, your tables aren't perfectly organized, large language models are smart enough to reason across that and figure everything out without investing all this money in getting your data perfect. And unified natural language query, I call that the killer app because it's the use case of giving business users and executives the ability to ask natural language questions about their data. Every executive I have ever met for the past 30 years is frustrated by the inability to access their data and just ask simple questions. And so they've always wanted this interface where they can just hey, what are our upcoming sales forecasts for the coming quarter, and what if this scenario changed, what would happen? Well, up to this point, it's been very hard for them to get those kind of answers because they've either had to learn SQL or complex languages, or just spend a lot of time working with IT to get the data in the right format, or they're stuck dealing with static interfaces like Tableau reports that never really deliver. So that's why I call this the killer app. So LLamaIndex has the promise to be the interface that drives that solution. So recently they had 2 releases that I discovered about their product that I wanted to share with you just to demonstrate how quickly it's evolving. So this is just a caveat. We've never deployed LLamaIndex on a client project. In fact, we've never even tested the product ourselves, and I don't know the founder or any of the teams. And so this is not any kind of endorsement. I just see what they're doing with their product, and I recognize the vision they have and how it's really going to be useful in a lot of our client engagements. So the first one is they released a video describing how their product will interface with your data, and describes how it creates an index and with the underlying components that allow to do the interface and with your data, and how that index gets refreshed. Now, a lot of this is very technical, but if you're not familiar with the term index, you can just think of it as an index of a book. So you look to the back of a book and you want to find a particular topic, and it tells you what page it's on. That's kind of how an index works in enterprise IT. So they describe how all this works. So I also noticed as a very promising sign that when they talk about their product, they use engineering terms. And so this is clearly an engineering-driven organization. So one of the components they call index, I think it's index_struct or something like that. So in any case, this is clearly a company driven by developers, and they're obviously investing their time and their energy in the substance and making sure that their product performs and solves a real engineering problem, and not concerned with the fluffy naming of things and all these other considerations they can take care of in the future. So I take that as a very good sign for an early stage startup team. The second is that they showed an on-demand loader inside their API. This is also a great sign for a unified natural language query because it promises to solve the problem of what happens when a new batch of data comes in. So a new group of documents or a new group of tables or spreadsheets suddenly arrives, and your business customers want to be able to ask questions about them right away. Well, OnDemand Loader allows you to instantly take in that information and index across it and give your business customers the ability to access it without having IT to have to do a lot of configurations and work behind the scenes for a couple weeks just to get something ready. So all promising developments. So in summary, I think it's really exciting times to see this ecosystem evolve, and I will continue sharing with you the best information I can find as it becomes available. Have a great day.